I don't know what episode number this is.
I never know what episode number it is.
I think it's 5.
I don't know what's going on.
Season 2.
We're going to have to check.
Well, I'll start talking anyway.
Go.
Welcome to episode unknown, season 2.
I've got to do everything here.
I know.
It's episode 6.
Episode 6. There we go.
It's your turn to have a moan about doing everything.
Yeah.
Something tells me my turn's never going to come around, especially now I don't drive.
Exactly. Yeah, so, it's already breached the first topic, I think. Well, actually, no, I was actually going to start with you, Jack, because you've been on some adventures.
I have been on adventures.
Go on, we need a review.
That was the US.
America. It was wicked, man.
It's the first time you've been to America?
First time I've ever been there. And all the shows were great. The people were really, really cool. All the places I visited were like really interesting. I had a lot of fun sort of just wandering around and exploring. And
was your experience of America what you expected it to be?
It was not like I expected it at all. I don't know what I expected, but I mean, one thing that I was very surprised by was just sort of how approachable random people in the public streets were.
They're actually mad friendly.
Yeah,
man.
people were just so friendly and chatty.
Yeah.
I think, like, especially once people clocked the accent. Yeah. Suddenly, like, I had dudes in the airport wanting to just tell me about their obsession with, like, Sherlock, and I'm like, but I haven't got a clue. I don't know what you're on about. They're telling me about, like, the 4th book. I'm like, what are you? I didn't even know they were based on books. I thought it was one book. I didn't know it was multiple books. But yeah, no, so it was a lot of fun. But yeah,
did you go East Coast and West Coast? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did a festival in New Jersey. I did Submersion Festival, which was sick. Festival. That was really, really sick. And then I did a lot of West Coast. I did a couple shows in Texas, a few in California. Yeah.
What do you prefer? What was your favorite area?
My favorite place that I visited was probably San Diego or Dallas. I liked those two.
How many dates did you do?
I did 10 shows in 15 days.
Flipping it.
And the first 8 shows were in 9 days. And I'm not going to lie, it did really like take it out of me. It took me like nearly a week to sort of recover. But, and I don't think I'm ever going to do something that chaotic. And like, I'm never going to opt to do that again.
You sound a little bit unwell. Is that off the back?
No, I don't think
that's the line, haven't recovered.
Maybe. Who knows? Like, I feel like every time, like, I'm getting like halfway through the week, I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And then you have to go back out on the weekend again. And suddenly you just felt feeling a bit rough again because you've had 4 hours sleep and
apparently
you've gone somewhere it was cold.
Copious amounts of ganja isn't the cure for illness.
No, should probably take a break on that.
Yeah, you need more vitamins.
I
like how you
lots of fruit. That always makes me feel better.
I like how obviously people won't be able to like see, but you can really tell like the emotion when you started talking about that. How much that actually like you were gassed to go on that tour.
Yeah,
like people need to really gauge how like important that shit is and how much that actually meant to you.
And like, do you know what? It was not just going over there specifically, but also like I've never gone away on my own for more than a weekend without Harry, and we were supposed to go out there together, but because of visa.
Is that true? Did you do New Zealand?
No, but yeah, I did, but I did that with Monroe and Dusky and
sorry,
Pete.
you mean actually
like,
on your own?
Yeah,
on your
so
own.
like legitimately on my own. I was at the first show was Submersion, so there was Boo and Deggs and Hugh Hardy out there and stuff. So that was like a nice little like. I go out there. First show was with some mates and stuff and some familiar faces. Have a really good time. People that have already been to the States before as well, and sort of went out into Philadelphia for the day with Deggs and with Hugh Hardy and sort of like went for a little romp and sort of saw the city.
In Philadelphia?
Say again?
Is weed legal in Philadelphia?
No, it's not.
Is that one of the ones that's not?
Yeah,
you guys were in the wrong place then, man. You and Andy should have been somewhere
just
else.
over the river though. In the festival we were at, that was New Jersey.
Yeah,
that's where
New
it
York,
was.
Innit?
But and then for the rest of the tour I was on my own, and I've never done that before. It's only ever been sort of like 2 nights on the trot I've had to go and do that. And most places you're arriving somewhere at like 11 a.m. and you can't check into your hotel till 4 p.m. or something. So the best you can do is dump your suitcase. You've got 5 hours where you've got no excuse but to just wander on your own. And so I was a little nervous about going somewhere and having to go to loads of new places day after day after day and be really, really hectic and really, really sort of quite tired and do that all on my own and have the enthusiasm to go and do shit. But I don't know what sort of, I think because you have those periods where you've got nowhere but you've got nowhere to be, you've got no hotel room for 5 hours, it forces you to go out and do stuff, which for me was really nice. Like I never thought of myself as quite an adventurous kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I would never have sort of plucked up the courage to go and do that on my ones. But actually, it was really nice. So it kind of forced me to do it. Glad I did it.
I know what you
see
mean,
lots
though.
of the cities
I
as
rate
well.
that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I remember when the last tour I did in New Zealand, I was just on my own completely.
Yeah.
Same thing on my days off. I was just like, I'm not going to sit in an Airbnb. I'm just going to go and do stuff.
Yeah.
And like normally when I go to another country, if it's on holidays with friends or family or whatever, very rare. I'm abroad, like you said, for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
On your own. It is really nice though. You must have ate some banging food, man.
I did. I ate quite a lot of. Do you know what? The one thing I didn't get to try, which I was quite gutted about, because quite a few people told me about it, was In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, when you're on the West Coast,
Yeah. I'd missed the chance to go and do that. But besides that, man, I had some amazing food, like some incredible seafood, like on the like West Coast, like down in San Diego and San Francisco. I had great, like banging tacos down in San Diego.
This
as
is
well.
obviously Mexican food.
Yeah,
I don't think there's great Mexican food in London, man.
No, there isn't.
When you're
Nah,
over
not
there,
really.
it's so good,
I mean, if
man.
there is, please, someone let us know.
Yeah, we need to know, because I'm still trying to find that like 10-10 Mexican spot, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's the one thing they definitely have way better than over here, for sure.
100%,
And like barbecue as well.
It's so much
so-
closer, though.
So
isn't it?
yeah, Dallas, man. Like when I went to Dallas, they took me to a barbecue place. Stephen and Melissa, the promoters there, and it was insane. We were queuing up, right, and I had forgotten I was baked, and I had forgotten sort of
Before we call you
Yeah,
out on it, you
yeah,
just want
yeah,
to
yeah.
get that in there.
I thought I'd sort of forgotten what I was about to experience. We were just sort of casually chatting, and like they were carving up the meat and putting it on your tray and everything, and we were going over to the table, and I just so casually pick up this little bit of brisket and just like chuck it in my mouth, just forgetting where we were and like what I was
You must have
genuinely
been really stoned.
Bruv, like no,
Eyes
I was
just
just like,
shut,
I was
like,
like,
where
yeah,
am I?
no, I was like, we're going for food, innit? And it's barbecue, but I forgot that this is like legitimate Texan barbecue. This is the best of the best. This is like nothing's ever going to top it, right? And it really, really hadn't sunk in until that brisket was in my mouth. And honestly, words cannot describe how good it was. Honestly, they cannot. I'd thought I'd had good barbecued meat before. I haven't. My brain doesn't know what barbecue. Didn't know what barbecue was until that moment.
Yeah, fair.
My life changed.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Perspectives were flipped.
You looked
Like-
me dead in the eye when you said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, man. I said that
My
with
life
meaning.
changed.
With meaning.
Yeah. So what's your like forecast, or like what's your like kind of opinion on drum and bass in the US? Because I see a lot of people talking about it. It's always a hot
Yeah,
topic.
man.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
It's good, man. It's hot. I like it. It's really, really, really vibrant. Like a lot of what people had told me was that it was sort of like an older demographic. So it was sort of people in their mid-30s, their sort of early 40s.
Like the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
it was the people that sort of liked the sort of older sort of flavors and the sort of deeper
like
stuff.
LTJ and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whilst that was, it definitely felt like that was the case, and whilst that may well have been the case in the past, like from my experience, the shows I went and played and watching the support artists that were playing before me and after, and seeing what the crowd were responding to, there was a sort of thirst for everything. And when I say that, I mean like the stuff you'd expect to hear on your average dance floor here on a Friday night in the UK, but then also that sort of old school, deeper flavour. And they were going equally sort of wild for both. And it was very refreshing to see, but also the crowd was not what I expected. Everybody said they were going to be sort of an older crowd, sort of our age and up. And it wasn't. It was a real mix. It was sort of that generation, and then there were like 18 and 19-year-old. I met a couple of 18, 19, 20-year-old ravers like in smoking areas and outside the venues afterwards. And yeah, they were all really enthusiastic, really like just chuffed to be be out and partying and shit. And yeah, it wasn't what I expected, but
That's
it was
good.
really good, man.
It's promising, yeah, because I've always been to, I've been to a couple of raves in the US, like drum and bass ones,
Yeah.
and it was more like you described, like the kind of 30 plus,
Yeah.
not to be rude, but crusty junglist fan base. So it's good to hear that. Like, I guess that Submersion Festival would be a good one because it's like multi-genre festival, right?
100%,
So, like,
yeah.
People who probably didn't even maybe know about drum bass would have wandered over and just
Yeah.
kind of seen what was going on. So no, that's good. That's promising.
Yeah, and I mean, like as well, the cities that I went to go to. So obviously, I went to your obvious ones. I went to LA and stuff, and I went to Austin, Seattle, San Diego, San Francisco, and but then I also went to places like Grand Rapids in Michigan. Exactly. Right. So I didn't know where it was. I had to Google it. No offense, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Like, it was a great show, and I really enjoyed it. But like that was very surprising to me, to go out to a place I genuinely had never heard of in quite a small city in that state. Which I think it's not too far from Chicago and Detroit. When I say not too far, it's still at a couple of hours flight, I think.
Yeah.
But and to see that there's quite a thriving, like a good couple hundred people that want to go to a drum and bass night in this small city in America that I'd never heard of, was really like quite eye opening.
Yeah.
And quite surprising. But
Got
yeah, sick.
Up, Mel Fez on that one.
Yeah,
by the sounds of it,
100%,
actually killed it.
Yeah, man. Cyber Groove crew, smashing it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So back out there quite soon.
Yep. Out there again in like 2-3 weeks.
This
I
is the
think.
thing with the visa, innit? You just got to make hay whilst the sun shines.
That's it. Yeah. So plenty more. Who's playing footsie with me under the table?
Mate, you got some long legs, man.
I'm stretching these toes, man. I feel like I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
Taking my shoes off.
Oh.
Socky.
Don't make me jealous, guys. Come on.
Don't know if I like that.
Feeling lonely over
Get
there.
involved, bro. Have a little footsie triangle.
You got Canada as well, haven't you?
No, nothing in Canada locked in yet.
Okay.
Like,
Pending.
well, yeah. I mean,
Talk
yeah,
about that after, maybe.
yeah. But I mean, but this is the thing. Yeah, like John said, like once you've got that visa, it is just a matter of like enough people sort of make enough noise on social media and prod their local promoters and go, "Hey, Pola and Bryson want to come over." Then we'll make it happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You don't need one for Canada, though, do you?
No, you don't actually. I think
Just withholding
for
tax.
us, it's just a matter of you get like a letter and you go over there.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I went over and did Edmonton and Vancouver, which were both sick. But I'd like to go over and do like Toronto, but also go back to Vancouver as well. Calgary, Edmonton.
Pending.
Pending, yeah. Fingers crossed. Touch wood.
Oh, I thought someone knocked on the door. No,
that was me
that
touching
really
wood.
confused me.
Your face.
I was like, hello? Yeah. Nice. Rich, how's things going?
Yeah, good, actually. Yeah, pretty good at the moment, apart from the obvious bit of fuckery about my car. But other than that, I'm all right.
Yeah, saw you at Hugh's album launch. So, yeah, well done, Hugh, for launch. I think maybe you spoke about it already, but Hugh's launched an album. That was a while back, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, sick album.
It was. It's been nominated for Best Album at the Drum and Bass.
Oh, right. Are we going to talk about DMB? Oh, we are, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's a sick album, and for it to get that nomination's big, man. It's alongside like Marky's album as well. Like,
also, we don't have any. We're running a bit thin on topics, so let's just run about the awards.
Literally
for a while.
not supposed to say that on air. What is wrong with this guy?
I told you I'm too truthful.
That's
mate.
getting edited out for sure.
No
This
way.
guy's like, we haven't prepared anything to talk about. Like, come on,
Just
man.
turned up. No, you have. I haven't.
Let's talk about the awards. Do we care? Are we interested?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's it's nice when you get a nomination.
You're
isn't it?
nominated for something, right? Yeah, hang
Couple
on.
things.
I'm looking at this guy like, wait a second.
No, I like it is. It's one of those things, yeah, where people are like, "Oh, I don't really care." But like, when people turn around and go, "Yeah," so like, quite a lot of people have turned around and said that like a tune you put out was their favorite tune of that year, or they think that you're the best producer this year, or their favorite.
What are you nominated for?
Best producer and best track.
Come on.
So yeah, which is
Come
mad. Like,
on.
thank you, but like that is
Yeah.
mad. That is
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
But that's
mental,
sick.
and it's sick.
I don't care what anyone says. It's
Thank you.
sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
But like, I can't help but go like, thanks, because
Yeah,
that is nuts. That is a very, very sort of a nice thing to have said about you. So
Yeah, I don't think you should let people make you feel bad for feeling good about getting
No, I
nominated.
don't. I think
I'm not
anybody's
talking
allowed to
I'm
think
not
what
talking
they
about you
want to think
specifically. I'm just
about,
talking
yeah.
about because I see the chat all the time about it. It's the same conversation every year, actually.
Yeah.
about the DMB.
It is getting a bit boring.
The way that I don't particularly care, but I understand the buzz because I mean we got nominated for best newcomer back in the day, and I was gassed.
Would you remember we were talking about? It's kind of similar to when like you get playlisted on Spotify.
Yeah,
Do you remember we were speaking about that a while back? Like,
which just happened again for me, by the way. Just
Yeah,
say
smashing
since
it.
the last smashing it.
but like, however it comes, like
Yeah,
a little win is a
Recognition.
little win to you, yeah. And like
Yeah.
whether that's a pat on the back or whether that comes in the form of some like actual support or something down the line, whatever that is, like it's nice.
yeah.
It's nice.
It's
Just let
definitely not
people
the
have
make.
those little
It's definitely
things.
not the make or break of
No.
careers. So
Definitely
like,
wasn't mine.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you were best MC number 3.
But no, best newcomer MC
Best
2013, I think.
Fair.
boy.
I think that was just down to pretty much like my speech was just like, yeah, this is thanks to working with Mark Wilkinson for the last year and a half. He cleaned up every single award. I was there like, yeah, I'm just that guy that just like tagged along with this dude for a couple of years, got an award.
All right, let's do some picks then. We might as well. Go on. You can't vote for yourself. Actually, no, you can vote for yourself.
What?
Of course you can vote for yourself. Let's do some picks.
Okay.
So let's go best producer for you. And then, I'll tell you what, they don't actually have to be nominated. They don't actually have to be nominated for the award. We can just.
No. I was just going to find my own.
In the last 12 months for you, best producer.
Visages.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's Visages, maybe.
Visages. Yeah.
You're not French though. So
Little French twang,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sick.
They are. You know what?
Yeah.
The thing is, they're so sick.
And they're multi-genre as well, which for me is always like a real flex.
Was Workforce's album out in the last 12 months? Or is it older than that now? It's borderline, isn't it?
Yeah. Why don't you look it up whilst I go mine, you look it up.
Workforce is Miles anyway, fuck it.
Yeah. Fair. Might be Visages as well. The thing is, every tune they put out, we play.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like I've not heard a tune of theirs and gone, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I've always really liked everything that I've heard.
Yeah. It's either going to be them or like Lawrence for me, I think.
It's always Lawrence for you,
quality
mate.
Output, probably. Yeah. Visages has been a bit more prolific, maybe. I might go Visages. Why not?
Yeah.
Switch it up. Nice.
Look at
He's
that.
at Workforce. Best track, last 12 months.
You can vote for yourself, remember, mate?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Phone line. There you go. I don't care. I'll say it.
I'll be honest. It's phone line for me as well.
Oh, stop it.
In terms of just like, you know what? Like, I'm not saying it's my favorite track that's actually been produced, but, but it's in terms of how catchy it is, in terms of like how well it's done from it's not had the same level of like marketing machine behind it as like some of the majors. Right? It's still come from an underground independent label.
Yeah.
Like from that perspective, and like how sick Emily is as well, and everything about that tune's just a hit, really. So
do you know, I'll go for a clean sweep on that one because it lived rent free in my head.
I was just singing it for no reason on the tube, like on the way to work. Like
the fact we've spoken about it probably means that on the way home or when I walk and leave here, it's going to be in my head. So as much as I hate catchy hooks and shit and always moaning about them from an MC perspective, from a vocalist perspective, that one's got it locked.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you both.
Fair. Have you got the categories on your computer, by the way? Because I'm going to forget what they are.
No.
Maybe are you on the internet?
Yes.
Okay, maybe do that.
Let's do that.
So best DJ.
Best DJ. Oh, see, that's good. For me, that's always Marky or Camo and Crooked. I just think like both of them come, in terms of entertainment and selection, that's always Marky. And then in terms of like selection and technicality, like Camo and Crooked bring that for me. And it's just sick. And they're just really entertaining.
Until I see someone do better sets than DLR live, my answer will always be DLR.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've not seen him DJ in a long time, actually.
But then again, there's another hard one because like Caliber would always win that for like Journey for me.
Yeah.
Like Journey and selection.
But we're talking about the last 12 months, though. That's the problem.
I don't even think I've seen DLR.
I don't think DLR can be actually your choice. Yeah.
Yeah, so again, I would have to go back to like Camo and Crooked and Marky because I've seen them both like DJ multiple times and always thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'll probably have to pick one of you two. Just sheer amount of sets I've seen of yours and played with you.
Just pick ours because we play Garage as well. It's more interesting.
That is true. I do like it when we switch it to 140 and I get to ling a few fucking 140
Thank you.
bars.
I'm going to take that. You know what? It's tricky, yeah, because like when I see what are we basing it on, it's like technical selection, but also like how
whatever you want
size of shows, is that a factor?
Bun size of shows, man.
Yeah, okay, fair. Because I was thinking, I know that Boo is going to be in there for like what he's done in the last 12 months in terms of the shows he's done. It's like crazy. Is he my favorite DJ? Maybe not, but I think he's a good DJ. What's the best set I've seen in the last 12 months? Maybe Break, to be fair. I really enjoyed Break's set, Hospitality on the Beach. I thought that was sick.
Break's unreal, man.
Yeah, maybe Break, actually. I'm going to go for Break.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you've got to like think of a certain like few select moments throughout the year and then base it on that, basically. Yeah. Which isn't ideal.
Best newcomer?
Best newcomer. This is the tricky one for me because I feel like none of the newcomers that I am aware, like none of the people that are classed as newcomers in the awards are people that I've actually really listened to. And what I mean by that is on the underground side, there's not really been a lot of like newcomers that I've really like burst, to quote Michael Richards, burst onto the scene. You know, like there's not really been. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No.
like, who's in the newcomers category?
Yeah.
I can't even see them now because it's closed.
Oh yeah, true. It'd be like I think it's like Sota and people like that who like obviously make jump up and stuff.
But I mean, like, yeah, that's Sota. Like, that's a good nomination.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good shout.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Without being able to see who was nominated to help sort of prompt, like give me some prompts.
We probably should have planned this out a bit better.
Yeah,
you did sort of freestyle, just put us on the spot.
Of course.
No, it's fine. Well, we can just move off of this topic and let's go on to something that we all care about a little bit more.
Which is what?
I don't know.
So we had a suggestion on the D&B group, the infamous group I keep referring to. The name changes every week, so I can't remember what it's called now. Someone said we should each have a go at building our like perfect like producer, composer, artist in drum and bass, and it kind of works in the same way as like when you see those like articles about like building the perfect footballer. It'll be like Messi's left foot, Ronaldo's right foot, etc., etc.
Ah,
I think it'd be quite cool. So like maybe we could do it like, you know, who's drums, who's bass lines, who's melodies. Like even we could throw vocals in there.
Are you
we
going to
can
do
throw
the
DJ ability in there.
Are you going to do the geeky version that was requested as well about like DAW?
Nah, that's the producer.
Yeah.
Best drip. I think that should go in there.
Oh, of course you. Best drip. The most irrelevant thing
Best
going.
But to be a DJ, drip is really important. That's why you haven't done very well.
I'm not a DJ.
You're trying to be. I've seen your post, mate. Who wants to go first?
I'll go if you want.
Yeah. All
I
right,
want breaks drums.
Mm-hmm.
I want breaks drums. Facts. I want Spectrasol stroke Workforce's sample game.
Okay.
Like interesting. I was thinking about this earlier. Like interesting little
melodics.
sample. Yeah. I want. I couldn't really decide between. I want like some Caliber or Halogenic Soul. I want a fusion of them two on the sort of soul front.
Like
Vibe, yeah. General vibe's a good shout actually. And then I'm not going to get too techie with it because I'm not going to pretend I'm some sort of producer who's like, oh, that guy's snare is the greatest snare in the world. Like, so I'm kind of happy with bass lines. Didn't think about that one earlier.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Do you? Maybe Skeppy.
Okay, that surprised me. I thought you were going to go older than that.
Where do you think?
I thought you were going to go Dillinger.
That's a different MC, mate. SP's not here today.
Yeah, fair. And then if you had to throw a vocal, let's pretend this person's also a vocalist as well. Whose vocal are you throwing in?
At the moment, you know what? Can I have a bit more time to come back to that? I'd like to really think about that.
Is it just 5 people? Is it?
No. And then
can
also,
do what you want,
there's
Jack.
also DJ ability as well.
Okay.
Well, DLR for DJ ability. We covered that one, didn't we? So
yeah. All right, I'm going to go drums, breakage.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Like melodics, probably going to go Caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to go like, I'm going to throw a category like steez in there. And what I mean by steez is like just the vibe and the feel of their tunes and just like how, steezy they are. It's going to be like a combination of Lawrence and Alex.
Yeah.
What else is there? Bass lines. Oh, actually, I'm going to throw mix downs in there as well. Bass lines, probably break. Bass lines. Mix downs, in terms of pure technical, I'm going to throw Methodist in there. Imagine a collab between all these people. That was stupid. Vocals, you know what? I saw a video she posted like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I just think she's so sick. And actually, she would be technically a newcomer as well. Sallow. I think she is so sick. Everything about her styles is wicked. I'm going to throw her in there. DJ style and ability. I was going to go a bit left field with this one. Like, I was thinking about sets that I've seen been really sick recently. Mantra did a ridiculous set of Sun and Bass.
Always.
She's such a good DJ. She must have played like not that many tunes either, but it was like the set was just like bang, so good. I think someone else chatted about it on the group as well. I totally agree. She's heavily underrated. She'd be up there. Who else? I mean, DLR historically has played my favourite ever set I've seen.
Where was that?
Sun and Bass. Back to back, Ulterior Motive.
Was I hosting that?
I don't think
it was the year before I went. A year after, I think I did a similar set to that. Damn it.
Yeah. I also really like, to be fair, I also like Jack Workforce's style of DJing as well. I really like how he DJs. It's tough. Nah, I'm gonna go in Mantra just to be different. And she plays vinyl, which I think is cool.
Sick.
Drip, me, obviously. Throw that in there. Yeah, Trims, me. Once a week skin fade.
I'm going to have to interrupt, aren't I, just to get him to stop.
I'm just falling
Someone say
asleep
something, yeah.
All right,
I think that's it. I
You
think that's.
can keep talking about yourself.
I think I built a pretty compelling artist there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty mad looking Megazord.
All right, Jack.
I would look. So I'm going to go drums. I'm going to go Ti. Just because I feel like I'm going to make this fun, I'm not going. I'm going to try and say
don't just go Caliber,
unique
Perez.
producers.
Yeah, like make
so
it fun,
people
make
that
it
you
fun.
guys haven't yet said, right? So Ti drums.
Oh, we should have done that. We should have said we can't
Yeah.
name the same. That would have been better.
Funk. I'm going to go Urban Dawn.
Okay.
No, actually, well, no, technically no. So production, I'm going to go Urban Dawn.
That's fair.
Funk, I'm going to go Boo.
Interesting.
I
would have gone. Oh, no. Oh, can we do funk? Go around again. I've got a funk category for me as well, for sure.
Yeah, go on. Give us your funk category.
Random movement, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mine would have been
the funkiest.
Mine have been breakage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of funk. Yeah. Where the funk was I?
Done bass lines, melodies, and
Yeah, melodies. I don't want to say Workforce because we've already said Workforce, but for me it would have to be Workforce.
No,
I
nice.
think he's
emotive,
just,
isn't he?
Yeah, just very emotive. And like DJ ability. Is that how you phrased it?
Yeah,
earlier?
like
Yeah.
Who's your favorite DJ?
Marky.
Marky, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Marky? He just doesn't plan a single set.
Yeah.
He just plays the next tune based on what the crowd's doing. And what he's doing.
Such an old school mentality, and so
He makes it so fast you wouldn't know. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, it's crazy. And also he's got the spin move.
Yeah.
You got to think though. For him, it's like light work, innit? Because you used to have to take them things out of the fucking record band.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, let's throw a new category in there as well. Iconic pose. I'm gonna go friction lean.
Yeah, friction lean. Friction lean wins. Oh, what about if we're doing drip? I'm going with Mosey. I'm loving his current drip. Yeah, man. Did you see him dressed up full blown witch outfit?
Yeah,
that was something else.
Are you going to compete with that, John?
It's a different brand for a different thing, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like his brand and my brand are not the same thing, so it's all right. Like, he's got his lane, I've got my lane. That's the beautiful thing about it. Okay, Rich, did we come back to you? There was one you were missing.
Yeah, it was just your vocalist.
No, I didn't do.
Vocalist. Yeah.
For me,
Emily Mackis.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. No, she's not shit. How dare you?
No, I'm saying like that.
I know.
You dickhead.
Rich, pick a different one.
There.
Different one.
Do you know what? Just because I'm gonna go Lucy Kitchen for some little old school technomatic flavors.
Yeah. They were looking for diversion. That's her, isn't it?
Yeah,
man. Nice.
She had some fucking bangers with them way back when.
Actually brings us on to the next topic quite nicely, actually, Rich. You want to talk about vocalists and representation, didn't you?
One of my topics actually making it in this month.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, man, I just think it's interesting to see how, for me, in a live environment, in my eyes, there's not enough like vocalist, predominantly female vocalists being represented in a live environment. And you know, I'm always here to fly the flag for Mike, men and women. But I think specifically, I don't know why it's not done more. I'm sure it probably comes down to a budget thing, but I'd just like to see a bit more.
And when do you mean like hosting, or do you mean coming on to do like live PA, or do you mean like a full set? Like, how do you mean?
Honestly, I'm down for any of it, if I'm honest with you. I know there's a lot of female vocalists that would like happily ramp an entire set. Like, I don't know if you know about Deism, but I remember seeing her at Sun and Bass in 2010, and she like blew my mind with how she was like rapping, hosting, singing, like the full package, like absolutely lenged it. Like it was unreal. I remember me and my mates being like, I'd never heard of her before, like no disrespect, but like, yeah, she honestly, me and my mates were just like, that was one of the most unreal, like sort of performances I'd witnessed from anyone with a mic, like ever, like in the gazebo at Sun and Base. It was like insane, completely commanded it, bodied it, and I'd love to see that more. But also,
was there another DJ, or like was she DJing as well?
No, she wasn't DJing as well. There's another DJ, and I can't remember who it was. You know what my memory's like, and just I was so sort of focused on just what she was doing. I didn't really care who was on the decks as long as they were rolling out for her to spit some bars. I wasn't really fussed. And yeah, like I guess, you know, I'd love to see more of that, 100%. But at the same time,
in that instance, you're talking about like female MCs, yeah?
Female MCs, yeah. But like the full package, I guess, because, you know, she's doing the lot, like similar to how, like, I suppose Degs does it.
Well, I was going to say, what we're seeing a little bit more of now is like the kind of Veridity's doing it. I think Salo's doing it. I think Charlie Briggs is doing it. Actually, I'm not sure. Charlie's also DJing as well. Actually, like you were seeing a bit more of the all-in-one show. Yeah, which is cool, I guess, because it gives them an opportunity to kind of, really like represent themselves fully. Like it's not just down to the DJ selection; it's their selection, it's their vocals and everything. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's obviously a wider problem with representation in general. Yeah, so, like there's not enough female representation or non-binary or just non. Like straight men basically representation on the lineups as a whole, and I guess it can be a combination of vocalists and DJs. I think we're still in a space where one or two female DJs would get booked as a kind of token booking, but maybe the vocals, because I would say proportionally there's probably more female vocalists than there are female DJs. Yeah, so actually it's probably a good space to go to get more female representation on the lineup. But yeah, either way, there's obviously there's not enough at the moment. I don't know, Jack, what do you think?
I think, I mean, when you compare where we were sort of pre-COVID, there is definitely a lot more sort of female presence as a whole, whether that's DJs, sort of MCs, singers, sort of doing like performance pairings with like their own DJ or doing it like hosting them, DJing themselves. There's definitely been an increase, but yeah, I feel like there's always room for more, especially when you're talking into the MC specific realm. Like my sort of awareness and not necessarily awareness of female MCs, but like how often you see them how often I see them on lineups just isn't as much as that's changing in other realms. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's interesting, obviously, that we're like you guys specifically, but like heavily involved in the Shogun camp, where at the moment that's sort of actually my judgment might be clouded because I obviously play most or like a significant amount of Shogun shows, to the point where I see that happen quite a lot with Emily and with Dusky and with like Monroe and yourselves, and like, I think it's beautiful, and it is definitely, I don't know, like if I was, say I was like a, you know, big in the game producer and I had like tunes, you know, a couple tunes with like Rhea or something, like why would I not be like, you know, do you want to come sing them on my set with my said MC that I already have in tow? I guess like when there's that DJ MC pairing, for me, like I think that can get a bit stagnant and a bit boring over a specific amount of time, and history has proven that people definitely get bored of me when I'm like in pairings with them. So I think the way to kind of mix that up would be to, you know, get your female vocalists on those sets as well to give it a bit more like life and give it something a bit more unique. Like I know Hybrid Minds do that really well with their like live show. Like they get a bunch of vocalists out and they perform loads of their tunes live, and it's done in a live environment. Yeah. So I guess I'd just like to see it more in a club setting. But I guess
think the caveat is though, like it's like you kind of need a stage to do that.
Agreed.
So like if you're doing a small 300 person club show, it might be difficult to do that and have the same.
Also, as well, like who? I mean, unless one artist has got 4 releases with the same vocalist,
you're not gonna.
It's quite hard to suddenly be like, like I will, as a DJ, if you're booking a DJ performance, to then somehow acquire like 3 or 4 PA performances can be next to impossible. Whether that's for like costs or like scheduling and stuff like. So in that regard, like trying to like Hybrid Minds can pull that off because it's Hybrid Minds.
Well, they're doing
Yeah.
shows at
Doing
Andy
the numbers
Pally.
they're doing, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
a big enough
yeah.
extravaganza to be like, yeah, let's get every vocalist we've worked with, or like as many as we
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
sort of down to the show. But then, like you said, Shogun, I think, are a good example of it, where it's sort of the lineups are curated in with that sort of stuff in mind. Like, where can there be crossover with? It's not just like who will sell tickets. It's like artists that work together and collaborate with each other regularly, where the opportunity to do sort of crossover performances like that works, and like that's possible because you've got those artists being booked for their own performances already, and then they can jump on and perform with one another throughout the night.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I just think it's something I'd like to see more. And I guess how that's done, I'm not really sure how it works in a live environment. I guess it's sort of promoter and producer stroke DJ dependent. But yeah, it would be nice to see, because I feel like there's so many vocalists that are like doing their thing, and actually you never see them in a live environment.
Yeah.
Like, or you really, really rarely do.
Yeah, so in that case, it would need to be them as artists getting booked with a support DJ, a bit like Emily does with Hi-Fi and with Pete.
Yeah.
Like, it would have to be
Or
that way.
Solar, how Solar does it.
It'd have to be that way around rather than like Jack was saying, because it's going to be difficult if I'm playing a show in like Leeds or whatever, to get a vocalist to come to Leeds to do one song. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's unrealistic.
I mean, we say this, but then it's like different horses for different courses. There are artists like Piri who are doing like UK tour,
yeah, but that's
sort of like
that's,
small club
that's
shows,
them as,
and it's
that's them as an act, though, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a vocal led. It's a vocalist.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, being able to
yeah.
sort of like lead that. But then also you got to see the sort of numbers that an artist like that needs to sort of be able to do to be able to put on like a 12 show tour. Like, it's quite a lot in it. But but then also we're not asking about 12 show tours here.
But that's where
a big ask.
That's where I think a lot of the vocalists that have got down to the kind of DJ plus vocal route is working quite well, because then you can be essentially booked as a DJ.
Yeah.
I think that's a route to success. I have a topic from Aiden, Azzy FM.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
Hello, mate.
Everyone's favourite Kiwi junglist.
Yes.
He said, if there was to be a new trend or a new style of D&B, what would you predict it is in terms of sound, styles, and inspirations for it, etc.? It's a great question. Who wants to go first? I've got a theory, but I'll save it. Who wants to go first?
So do you mean he's saying like predict, as in what we think is
we
coming
think?
next, or
Where
what
do
do we want to come next?
Both.
So there's two different questions.
Let's do
there.
both.
Yeah.
Let's do both.
You know, like sort of jazzy house, jazzy garage.
Yeah.
Imagine that with sort of like liquidy jungle flavors.
That's got to be what you want more than what's going to happen.
No, that's what I think.
Isn't
That's what I think.
Isn't that just liquid drum and bass? Man just described drum and bass in 2007.
No. No, like, sorry, not more like bluesy how, like bluesy sort of like piano chords in like house music and
Blues.
garage. Yeah.
Blues.
Yeah.
Nah, not blues.
Walking blues.
What, you want like Hound Dog and drum and
No,
bass together?
I'm getting this all wrong. I'm editing that shit.
Nah, leave that in,
No,
man.
I've got the power.
Oh, you can't be doing that, mate. We don't get a say.
I need
was I've got to read it again.
What's the sort of? I'm trying to think of the fucking word. The description. Crack on, man. Don't
Yeah,
need me to read this, man.
getting really
What
expressive.
do you
over there.
think's going to come next?
Something really shit,
Interesting.
probably, because that's what usually happens. You know.
Cool, well, good answer.
You say that, but
Glad
in the
you
past
expanded
we've had
that.
cool drum and bass be like popping, man.
It
was a while ago.
I've got a theory, right? Basic scientific principle is that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right?
Yeah.
I think actually because drum and bass is popping more than it's ever popped, right? It's like everywhere now.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the genre that's like biggest at the moment, it's like quite noisy, dance floor. But I think as things go more into the mainstream, things are going to have to calm down a little bit, because people driving to work in the morning don't want to listen to like screeching bass lines.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be more melodic, more musical. I think that's going to cause a chain reaction back down the chain again.
Yeah.
Where
And also, it needs
music
to look like
becomes,
it will not be less.
this
It will be less bait.
This guy.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm going to carry on saying this, right? Because now I've interrupted and I've got the floor. Yeah, this guy loves to call people out. Yeah, where they interject. Yeah, but he does it. He's the king of interjecting. And take it from the guy who has to sit here for hours and listen to each episode like 12 times over to edit them. Yeah? I'm telling you, this is fact, right? You are the fucking worst for it.
You're literally like the quietest dude of this podcast. You found your feet like more and more as we've gone through episode.
We gave him a whole 20 minutes to start talking about the tour.
That is true, actually. This has been the most he's ever spoken in the podcast, and then you cut him off, and it's like, nah, mate, allow it. Fair. You're long.
I don't really care. Go on, crack on. No.
Nah, well,
it's gonna become a game now. I just think, Jon.
I just think things have to get more musical. I think the periods, like, it's the cliche, but everything goes in cycles, man. We've had this noisy period for a while now. I'm saying noisy, not in a disrespectful way, but like, you know, like a high energy, noisy drum and bass. That's what it is, right? Whatever way you want to slice it. So yeah, I really think things are gonna get, and like with like TikTok being such a big thing now. If you look at the kind of music that goes big on TikTok, it's that kind of like neo soul, but with like weird sped up vocals and stuff, and like it's all very musical.
Yeah, what's number one in the UK right now? Kenya Grace.
Oh yeah,
she's like week 7 or something, or week 6 or something like that.
We made that point about Piri and Tommy earlier, like, and like Disclosure's little jungle tune in their album's got a Grammy nomination. Do you know what I mean? And that's like super musical. So like, I actually think, hold tight, all of the kind of liquid and soulful producers, your time might be coming again, basically. Yeah. Like, I think there will always be a space for the dance floor and the drum. That will always, like, Worry About Henry is always going to book, like, them as headlines. But I think in terms of just, like, exposure, I think the melodic side is going to have a lot more exposure again.
And I think, like you said, it goes around in circles. Like, at the moment, it's I don't want to call it a bait sound, but it's a bit bait. Like, and so
I don't want to call it bait, but it's actually fucking bait.
It's quite bait, yeah.
But I sort of baited myself out by having a spliff before I turned up to this bait podcast. Yeah,
shut up, man. Don't bait me out.
Man said it's not bait, but it's kind of bait.
It's kind of bait. But like that alone, I think, has to like go round in circles as well. Like, it's what will come next will sort of be that melodic stuff, because it's not what's popping right now, and also what's popping right now is quite a bait sound, and so in a way I think it's almost got to like revert at some point. It will revert a bit more underground, or a bit more deep, a bit more headsy.
We touched on this before, like we spoke about this, like maybe even last episode or something. We were saying
probably
how
every episode,
because it's got so big, like Jon just said, everything's going to filter down into the underground, because like you said, it goes in circles. I think what you said is really poignant, and honestly I would love to it be what you just said, because even when you were, even that question, we've kind of gone a bit like a little bit off piece from the actual original question, and it was funny because what Jack was saying when he described Liquid 2007, as you put it, every time I was thinking about what I would want the next thing to be in D&B, all I could think, I was just thinking of different ways of how to describe Liquid, and like, every time I came with something I was like, that's basically Liquid, and then I was like, what about this?
But
still Liquid, it's like,
but a bit more vibey Liquid though.
But if you listen to like some of the stuff that like Disclosure are putting out, that Bicep are putting out, that even Fred Again is putting out. Fred Again's even got like a liquid drum and bass tune that he's teasing at the moment and playing out, and it's not very good. But in terms of the sort of larger artists that have got a platform and have kind of got a really, really big audience at the moment, that is the closest to 2007 liquid drum and bass that I've heard in quite some time. And the sort of the melodic stylings of Bicep and Disclosure aren't too far off. They're just different tempos, right? I think like if you can get that in other music genres, and you can get that popularity in that sound and style from drum and bass fans, but from artists making slightly different tempo music, why couldn't we all vibe to that at drum and bass tempo? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think the difference is
maybe it's just the way it's presented.
Yeah, but also like I think actually like to get a bit more like nerdy on it, I think the instrumentation's different. I actually think like more real instrument based drum and bass. So like the thing about 2007, I said 2007 because it's sample based.
Yeah,
and they're sampling like old bands, old jazz bands, whatever. So it's like real instruments. I think actually there's a space for that to come back, and I think that isn't what at the moment that doesn't really exist. Like no one's really making like that early Hospital, that kind of early V, kind of even like the stuff that LTJ was playing and putting out, like that style of Liquid, and like obviously early Caliber, which is heavily sample based. And I guess a large part of it is because sampling is more difficult to do now. Yeah, everyone's been pushed down the route of like synthesis and everything because of like copyright, rightly so. But maybe there's a space for like what
AI's coming along though, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, AI's coming along, but
Suddenly
also
you can just
like
make like get it to. I mean, with Splice,
a lot of artists are doing it as well.
Sampling based music without having to use like bait samples.
Yeah, but like Jack did that tune on his album with that Leroy Horns. Leroy Horns, is that his name? You know, the guy that literally plays the sax on it, for example. Like, there's more space for that. Like, imagine like writing a tune with like Ezra Collective.
Yeah.
Like a drum and bass tune. Could you imagine how sick that would be? Like, that's what I mean. Like, that, there's more space for that.
But also, like, I just want quickly to backtrack on the sampling's harder than it's ever been before. I disagree completely, because I feel like
I know what you mean.
To some people, it could, depending on sort of your approach to it, it can be more difficult because it's harder to get away with doing it if you wanted to just throw it out.
Surely you just manipulate
but
it.
in terms of ways of getting around it, like recreating the sample using like the help of AI and MIDI and all this sort of malarkey and plugins and stuff, but then also like using that sort of, I've sampled this original for like the viral marketing technique, hope it pops, and then suddenly the label turns around and goes, oh, actually we might want to try and release it. That does happen.
Yeah,
it happens quite a lot.
Yeah, but
I mean, almost, some people are arguing
like
it's happening way too
though.
much. Then exactly, like,
they're not sampling like
it's not
bands
good.
From the 70s.
It's not good records. It's all bait like 90s dance records and 90s and noughties R&B records.
Yeah,
the live instrument vibe, though, I feel like that is also just chiming back to like the history of drum and bass.
That's what I
was
saying.
Definitely an era where that was, you know, very was prevalent.
Yeah.
Some people still doing it.
Basically, we're just waiting for someone to come and break the mold a little bit, and just do something a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Fix up. Come and break the mold.
Jack and Harry.
Don't put that pressure on me. Are you mad?
You just got nominated for Track of the Year, man. It's your platform. You need to do this. Yeah. I think
back in his head, he's like, how can I sell out more to just make more green?
What? No, that's not what I'm thinking. No.
Well, one thing that's linked to that though actually was like speaking about collaborating with other artists. I actually do think more of that's going to happen as well. Like obviously at the moment, Wine EP money is like blowing up. And like people are working with. I saw Turner was on stage with Dizzy Rascal and DW and JME. I was like, what is happening?
How? I don't. Yeah, like that's mad.
It's crazy. But again,
that wasn't even on the lineup.
That's just testament to where drum and bass is at right now. We've done a tune with a grime artist as well. Like there's plenty of cross collaboration, not just grime, but I think there's room for more of that. Basically, I think more as like you said, drum and bass is everywhere now. Like Fred again's making it and whatever. Disclosure. I feel like at some point those artists are gonna have to start working with drum and bass artists as well.
How sick is that though?
What would be here's a question.
P Money, D Double, Dizzy, and JME.
Yeah,
how mad is that?
That's crazy.
That is
I only saw one clip.
Like, I would have loved to hear him on like a breakage set, but
but like, who says there's not room for more of that? Like, do you know what I mean?
You had the Cool FM from way back. Huh? You had the Cool FM from way back with Skibber, Fun, DWE, and Dizzy.
No,
go check that out on online. Ooh. Absolutely,
I'm popping that set. On my favourites.
Dizzy over D&B is
he's a jungle man from back in the day. He used to DJ as well, didn't he?
He posted something about him DJing some vinyl the other day. He was like mixing some jungle records.
Yeah,
Joker.
So I think and which is nice because actually that's for me that's getting back to more the roots of drum and bass. Even though the sound has changed, like obviously Jump Up, like how it is today wasn't how it was 25 years ago, or whatever. But the fact that kind of more like black rappers basically are getting back into it for me is quite nice. It's like that's getting more to that kind of core London like vibe, which is really nice. I think more of that's gonna happen. Like I said, to be honest, it's something that I'm thinking about. It's like who can I work with outside drum and bass to make something cool, and exciting, and fresh.
I'd love to do some of that, man.
Yeah. Who would I think we maybe done this before, but who would your drum and bass collaboration or dreams be?
It was pretty much all the guys I just like listed there, like JME,
Fair,
Gets.
Oh, Gets
like
would be
Gets.
He's my favorite rapper as well, like, so that would be crazy.
Dizzy Rascal, D Double, like Footsie.
To be honest, you're probably not that far from making it happen.
Bro, but the thing is, it's like
probably about 6 months away from making that happen.
Bring John in on the collab, innit?
It's kind of it's getting in the mood and in the sort of mental space to write something I feel like that could work with those guys or could work with sort of more MC based people, because besides Anaesthetist we haven't really done much of it. Like,
is that your only MC tune?
No, it's not the only one, but it's kind of like the one where I feel like we've done something a bit aggy where like it really works with an MC and it gives them the room to really bar. And like Strat's bars on that tune absolutely slap. And I think it's because he's got all of that room. And drum and bass is quite a techie one to give that space to an MC, I think.
And without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's the hardest thing.
But I really, really would love to write more sort of stuff like that, like get in a room, like specifically with the aim of just like, you know how we've done in writing camps in the past, where it's just like churn out some ideas and like let them run away in their own time and like to take it with them. But like for us, just get an idea down a little loop that they can roll with, like something that just gives them the freedom. There's a bit of groove, a bit of vibe in there for them. But yeah, those kind of guys, like that early days sort of grime stuff, that's me. That's what I'd love to do.
Here's a prediction then. I do think we're going to see one absolute crazy crossover next year. Like,
yeah.
No one will know.
It's going to happen.
I can't predict what it's going to be, but I promise you, like, someone like Boo.
Chasing Status will be involved 100%, won't they?
Probably. Sorry, I sighed there a little bit, didn't I?
Baited.
Well, just
just
leave some for the rest of us.
Proper side there. Just like, but yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Chasing Status can't really do a crazy crossover because they've already produced like half of Rihanna's album. So like, they've already completed crossovers. Like that's do you know what I mean?
That's not unique, and the whole point is you're looking.
Yeah,
for something
I'm talking about
fresh.
like a
It's
fresh.
gonna be like Tiesto and Alchemist or something teaming up on a tune.
Or like.
Although Tiesto and High Contrast have already done that in the past, haven't
Yeah, or like Poda and Bryson and like Beyonce or something. I don't know. We already had that.
So in the wind.
But you know what I mean? Like, there'll be something mad like that. Long may it continue. Because I think that's one thing about UK music culture. Like it all blends together, and it should. All the artists and all the different genres should work together. So
yeah.
Who was your answer
for collaboration? Who would be sick at drum and bass tempo? I've always said Joker would be sick on a drum and bass track. I've never heard his sound at 170. I think that would slap.
That would, yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
Good answer. Actually.
I think that would absolutely. I've always thought about
Joker and Urban Dawn.
I've always thought like Joker and maybe like Breakage. Is that too obvious?
So
specifically, you could take it in so many different tangents, but I feel like you could go Joker and Breakage would be sick.
Yeah,
but then Joker and Urban Dawn could also like just be something wild.
That would definitely.
Do they have to produce drum and bass? This person, I wasn't actually.
No, they specifically non-drum and bass.
No, but that's what I mean. But then someone you want to collab with, you're then collabing on a drum and
not
bass
necessarily.
tune.
No, not necessarily.
It's different for you, I guess, because you're vocalist, obviously, so maybe it'd be different. But
mine would be Fella probably.
Yeah, fair.
Little bit of liquid Fella vibes on some D&B.
Yeah.
If it was that way around, that's.
But then what if it was you doing non-drum and bass?
Honestly, a similar answer really. It'd be like
that would be the
something
same
like
for me.
real like low
Same
key.
answer.
Yeah. Like I kind of want to start rapping over like sort of anything from like 80 to 140 melodic kind of stuff where, like you said, you have more room and some like a bit more like space and just can be a bit more emotive with it. Because I feel like
one thing Rich needs is more space to be emotional.
Well, no, the thing is though, that's kind of the point though, isn't it? It's because I don't feel like anyone's listening in D&B because no one really gives a fuck about that. Some people are.
And welcome to the MC rant.
Yeah, here we are, 2023. Just getting one last one in there before the end of the year.
Speaking of P Money, that was about 10 minutes ago. I don't know why that was the last time we spoke about, but I just remembered Saturday night I went to go see Hamdi at Pickle Factory.
Yeah.
And
did he do it back to back with Flux?
Turns out I was stood next to Flux Pavilion for like an hour, and I kept looking at him like, I swear I recognise that guy because he's quite recognisable.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But I was with my mate, and I was like, after we left, I was like, you know what? I've got a weird feeling now because we actually left before the back-to-back started.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got a weird feeling that was Flux Pavilion. And I didn't know that no one knew he was going to be there. Then in the Uber, we like went on his Instagram, same trim. I was like, that was literally, I was stood next to him for like an hour. I had no idea.
Do you know a funny story about him?
Go on.
When I played Electric Castle with, I think at the time it was, Nick Lomax, like Lodestar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing a set with him and Skrillex was playing on the main stage and they all finished and made their way over to our stage at Electric Castle. This was like years ago. And all of a sudden, our stage just got just rushed by like Skrillex and gang. Yeah, like they just basically came on, took over. Like they honestly, what they actually did, I found very disrespectful and offensive, and it really angered me at the time because like poor Nick Lomax was just there like trying to do his thing, and they've like come in. like got on top of the stage, like next to him, like started effing around with like his mixer and stuff. Like honestly, it was like pure, just like we don't give a shit our time. And like Flux Pavilion came at the time, like I was kind of a bit more of a maybe like less confident, kind of like hadn't really like cut my teeth as much, and was a bit like, you know, like a bit sort of like not really like owning my space sort of thing, being like fuck off, do you know what I mean? Like, so he like asked me for the mic, came on and started doing the worst jump up bars I've ever heard to like thousands of people, until I was just like, give me that mic back. And like it was honestly the biggest shit show like I'd witnessed, and probably still to this day. And it was just like all these people who were just basically like egocentric, just jumping on someone else's stage and just completely ruining the vibe and everything about it, because we were the only thing that was left open in Electric Castle.
That's
so fuck them lot basically.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be a happy funny story.
Now we can go viral. We've started beef.
Do you want to hear a story about Flux Pavilion? I actually fucking hate that guy. Basically is what just happened.
No, I don't actually hate it, but it was just like, you know, you're like cringing at something, and like you had control to like avoid that thing, and unfortunately you're like, oh, that's Flux Pavilion, yeah, you can have the mic, bruv, like fuck it, like
this would be a great idea. What could go wrong?
It wasn't even about it being a great idea. I just feel like when I was younger, I just lacked the confidence to be like, no, this is my space,
you're
like,
shook,
fuck off.
That's
exactly.
But yeah, Hamdy's set was great. I mean,
looks sick.
You know what it is, like Jump. It's funny because that kind of dubstep is in a very similar place to Jump Up, but for some reason it just goes off more. Like I think it's because it's slower, so it's more groove basically. Because even though the sounds are essentially the same, like frog noises and fart noises and all sorts, like. Am I wrong though? Like, literally, that's what it is.
Technical terms. That's what the producers are saying.
Frog bass is actually a term, for sure. It just goes off more because it's just got a bit more of a groove to it, and it was sick. But seeing it in Pickle Factory was interesting as well because obviously really small venue. But it was sick, man. I actually caught me wanting to go to more nights like that. There's actually a Caliber Joy Orbison heavyweight night, I think, next month. Like, because we've got a few 140 people on it.
Stu's on that as well, isn't he?
I think Stu's on it as well.
Small club nights, I
think it's a bit bigger, actually.
Come on.
Bring it back.
Speaking of,
let's do it.
We should probably mention the fact that Drum Sheds is open now.
No, it's not.
No, okay,
no,
we're just going to gloss over that.
It's not. It's had more of enough of bloody mention. It's been on everybody's social media feed all weekend now. We don't need to talk about it.
So, Rakimba, Damien Walsh said, getting dub plates cut because tunes aren't pressed, yay or nay?
Yes,
obviously,
I do it.
Yeah, you do.
Wait, sorry, cutting other people's tunes.
I haven't finished my question. You man were like,
you ran it about that one podcast. I think you do that.
Let's hear what the rest
I've tried hanging out for most tunes, but there's some I'd like to play. Not out, but for myself. What would you say the process is? I'll firstly ask the person. Obviously.
Yeah, so if we're talking about cutting other people's
he's talking about like,
tunes.
Let's say for example.
Oh wait, sorry, they're released tunes but not
on
cut.
Vinyl. Yeah. So any digital, like, I know Phone Line did come out on vinyl, didn't it?
No, it didn't, no.
Oh, so someone got a Phone Line dub plate cut, but they asked you first, how would you feel about it?
See, I think as long as you're asking permission, I think it's absolutely fine. But then I think it's also, you got to respect the wishes of the artist. If an artist does turn around and say, I'd rather you didn't do that,
don't then go and do it.
Don't then go and do it. But I would say most people wouldn't mind, because
they
probably
say no.
I don't know why someone would, but I mean personally, I would find that really lovely.
Yeah.
To be asked that. Like,
why would someone say no?
Also, why was Phone Line not on vinyl?
I don't know.
Not a vinyl crowd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
People would have bought it though.
Yeah.
They probably would have.
Just
I mean, it's not too late, you know.
It's probably too late. Given the wait times, it's probably too late.
I disagree,
come
man.
out next year.
I disagree.
Also, Too Shy.
No, I think
get 10 of them pressed and put them on Discogs
I think
for like
this
£300.
Well, this is the thing with vinyl nowadays. Is I think like the idea of trying to press 1,000 of those, like one-sided 12-inch or a 10-inch single.
Could have sold
like,
1,000 of them.
We probably, maybe, who knows? But like, I don't think it would have been worth trying to do 1,000. It would have been like make a nice little run of 100 or 200 and just be like, you sign them and you give them out, and it's a nice little sort of exclusive thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
In
that regard, I don't think it is too late.
I agree with you guys in terms of if you ask the artist and they say yes, then good.
Yeah.
There was actually a second part to this question as well, which was, secondly, what would you think today's crowd would make of vinyl sets, the little phasing and not everything immaculate? I'd hope they'd embrace the roughness and not write off DJs for being real. So I think you'd struggle to do a vinyl set with a crowd the size of a Worried About Henry at Drum Sheds, for example. Just because this is unless you're like Andy C and like a complete wizard with 4 decks, I think the selections would probably, I hate saying this, but I think they'd be too slow.
He's using Serato anyway.
He uses CDJs though. We haven't spoken about that.
Yeah.
Andy C is on CD. Andy CDJ.
What?
Andy CDJ,
Yeah, officially switched
How
over.
long?
I don't know. I just keep seeing his Instagram.
Yeah.
I can't get used to
we
it.
were playing
It looks weird.
before him
That
in
is
Milton
weird.
Keynes the other week, and he was on CDJs.
He must be an absolute weapon on those things. Do you reckon he's gone in for the best DJ award? He's realised that AMC scuppered him.
Do I think Andy C has made a career changing decision to get the TMB Arena best DJ? I don't think.
No, I don't.
I'll be real about that. I don't think. You know what? I'm going to change 20 years of what I've been doing to win that award back. Nah, no.
Do you know what? I think it's probably.
It was definitely a joke.
You were being serious.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's something just to do with like he had a go on like a pair of 3000s or something and went, oh, if this is the new standard, suddenly I like these. It might just be something like that. He liked Tractor because it felt more like what he was used to, and now the CDJ tech is actually like really smooth, really quick. Like I know it was always quicker than vinyl,
play.
but like maybe I think maybe it's just that. It could just be something as simple as like the tech has now finally caught up. I don't know him like
Next
that.
time you see him, you just said you played a show with him.
I didn't play a show. Literally,
Next time you see him, I'm
was
not
behind the decks, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Andy," and then was like, "Here
I'm
you
not
go,
allowed
mate.
to
It's all
Andy
yours."
C.
And then
If I see him, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
You know him like that.
That wasn't the question. The question was, who we think crowds would make of vinyl sets these days? Like today's crowd. I guess by today's crowd, he means like the younger crowd. What do we think they'd make of it?
I don't think the crowds are particularly bothered by what you're doing, unless what you're doing is massively animated.
I just think the restriction of vinyl causes you to play a different set.
Yeah,
And I think
it's
that
as
set
well.
wouldn't resonate with a 21-year-old now.
I do agree with that to a certain extent. If you're talking about not Serato, you're talking about actually getting records out the bag, and the fact that the pace is significantly slower. I think, we live in the most fast-paced world this world has ever been.
Yeah.
So people, will be just waiting for that mix, probably half asleep, looking at Instagram on their phone in a rave.
Although there is an argument to be made as well, though, and this is a conversation that I've had with someone before, maybe Jack, Workforce Jack, not this Jack, that eventually the crowd kind of submit to you as the DJ. And that sounds weird to say that, but like if your pace is slower, it makes the mixes hit harder, for one, because you're not doing a mix every 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, your selections have to be A1, and you can't just throw a little 6 out of 10 tune in there. So potentially, it'd be an interesting experiment to see what would happen if like a really top tier selector on vinyl played a massive show, and just see. I feel like the crowd would be resistant at first, but eventually. They might get into it.
You sort of mentioned this earlier with Mantra, obviously CDJs, but that it's the same style of mixing. It's actually a bit more of a journey, and making it so that the two tunes punch, and it's really well crafted and comes together in a beautiful way. I'm longing for that stuff, obviously, but I'm old, so the question ain't my demographic. But yeah,
but I guess that is the point of the question.
Yeah,
'cause it's we've been through the vinyl era, and how do we think today's crowd, who we all perform to, would receive it?
I reckon in a few years' time, today's crowd, when it's today's crowd is a couple 3-4 more years into their raving days, I think they'd receive it quite well. I think when you come in at the moment, you see the age demographic at the big Worried About Henrys and stuff. It's a very, very young crowd, and I think like you said, John, I don't think they're ready for it. But I think in about 3-4 years' time, those 23, 24, 25-year-olds, they're going to be ready.
Or they're going to switch to techno.
No,
one or the other.
It will be those 23, 25-year-olds. It will be about 23, 25% of those new fans now. They will still be with us in 5 years' time, hopefully. It will be the ones that really find a love for it, really find a passion for it, find some sort of their taste matures with with themselves and stuff, and they'll
Ketamine
latch on
consumption
to
drops down.
Yeah, they'll latch onto some artist, they'll latch onto a label, they'll latch onto a sound that they like, and they'll enter down that rabbit hole that inevitably we all do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've got to wait for that time first.
I think that's what, back to one of the original points we said earlier, was the fact that is going to happen. Like, there's so many people into D&B right now that underground will have a resurgence.
Yeah.
Please,
but no one can dictate how and when it's going to happen and who's going to do it and who's going to lead the charge. It's just going to happen naturally, and it's going to be in no way familiar to what we're predicting. So this is all futile.
This is what podcast is for, though.
I hope not.
Mindless chat.
I do actually have a positive outlook. I know, like, probably don't sound it like a lot on this podcast, but I do genuinely.
No, you're definitely the most positive out of all of us.
You reckon?
Yeah, by far.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like
John definitely wouldn't think I am, but he has to listen to me moan about MC stuff all the time, so that's probably why.
I think I'm the most positive.
You think you're the most everything, mate?
I think I'm the most positive.
I think you're the most stoned.
You're definitely the most stoned.
Peace and love, dudes.
It's always pretty positive.
Yeah, no, I hear it. It's because he's getting paid bank.
I'm just happy to be here.
You know what? Everything's great, guys. Let's not change or upset the boat or rock the boat at all.
Yeah.
Everything is fine how it is.
Please don't jeopardise my
No one change anything.
Harry's back at home, like, listening to this going, yes, Jack, that's it.
Keep the gravy train going. Jack, do you want to go first?
No.
I'll go first.
He doesn't know. He's still looking for his Spotify.
I have been on a Sunny Jim warpath recently.
What a surprise. It's UK rap.
UK rap. And yeah, just really sort of solidifying what I'd sort of already thought, that he's one of the greatest UK hip hop rappers. I think he's in my top 3 now. I've been rinsing it, but he's got this album Ortolan and Armagnac. I don't know when it came out. I think I'm a bit late to the party, but it came out this year with Lee Scott. Lee Scott, I think, does all the production on it because he doesn't really rap much in it. So I think that's what's going down, and it's just it's so sick. But yeah, so many sick albums, man. I literally went through all of them after listening to this most recent one, and I've probably done it actually twice just because the rapping is so good. And so, I mean, I just don't think anyone has. I've never heard as much swag like that on a mic. He's everything I'm not.
Fair. I'm listening to Brent Faiyaz's new album. It's really good. He's just a cheat code when it comes to like that neo soul R&B sound, because it's like the production's just like, every time I listen to his production, it like makes me want to make a drum and bass tune that sounds like his music.
Yes.
Nice.
And to be honest, like, there's a reason why like so many people bootleg it. Like, I've heard about 50 bootlegs of Brent Faiyaz tunes in drum and bass.
Yes.
Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, the funny thing is, I would say this like with my girl mates as well. Like, he, as a man, he's super toxic. Like, the stuff he sings about is like, if that was your mate behaving like that with like his girl or like another girl, you'd be like, mate, you need to stop. Like, but he makes it sound so good. Like,
okay.
yeah, it's crazy. Sim actually said that. Sim was like, he's my favorite toxic singer. Is Brent Faiyaz. I totally agree. His new album's sick. Someone will bootleg a tune from it soon. In fact, I've already started one. So
There you go.
In drum and bass, there's been lots of good stuff. I mean, Too Shy is absolutely doing the rounds.
Thanks.
This is probably the nicest I've been to in a podcast, maybe ever, to be fair.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're usually quite mean to him.
But your music's really good.
You're
So,
bullying me today more than usual.
your music's really good, man.
Oh,
Too Shy is
It
absolutely sick.
is actually fucking sick.
You know what, this
Stop
tune
it.
as well.
Do
You know what I'll say about this tune as well? Yeah, this tune has got everyone's attention from all corners of drum and bass.
Yeah.
I think Phone Line got.
Really?
Yeah, mate. I've heard headsy DJs play it out.
Oh, sick.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
thanks, everyone.
This one's got like, yeah, this one's just got something about it which is a bit like, it just touches all of the areas of drum and bass that everyone loves.
Oh, I love that.
Anytime I hear it live, I'm like, sexy rhythm. It's got swag again.
Big love, everybody. Sick.
Undeniably a great tune.
Yeah, killed it.
So that's really good. What else have we been rinsing? Breakage's new tune, Style, ridiculous as always.
Oh yeah.
Just really, so unapologetically Breakage, just like 2 elements. And it's just sick. Like, yeah, no, there's been a few tunes, man. But yeah, those 2 really stick out right now. Yeah.
Sick.
You got an answer?
Yeah, I was listening to Cry and Sound's latest album, Led by Ancient Light.
Have they got a new album?
Yeah, it was about a month or
Interesting.
so
I see
ago.
some post about this yesterday.
What style have they got?
It's really sort of like orchestral, atmospheric, but there's like their signature
Sound
big
design.
electronic sort of sound with design. It's wild. It's sick.
Various of like different tempos.
Yeah, a couple of different tempos in there. Different sort of flavors. Like it's going from all the way to like the biggest and heaviest and loudest, all the way down to like really deep, like abstract stuff. But yeah, really sick album. But then also when I was out in the States, I couldn't help myself. I sort of merged. I went and found Spotify playlists for all of the soundtracks from all the Tony Hawk's games, and I merged them all into one, and kind of made that like my going on tour in America playlist.
Tony Hawk's 2.
Yeah.
One of the craziest soundtracks.
Yeah, I personally love the Tony Hawk's 2 soundtrack. For me, 3 was just the kicker. It just absolutely slapped.
That one with that bus driver tune
which one's which.
I think it was one with the bus driver tune on it. Yeah.
It had "Learn to Fly" by Foo Fighters on it.
I remember that one.
Yeah, because
Underground has some good. Underground 2 has some sick tunes in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's fantastic
they're all
sounds.
good.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah. You know what? Here's a prediction.
But the OG Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 soundtrack is like the top.
I just thought of a great prediction for drum and bass.
Go on.
Full
GTA 6 is gonna have drum and bass on it.
No, it's not.
MSX FM.
Bro, there's no way it doesn't.
Number 2.
There's no way it doesn't have drum and bass on
Did
it.
GTA 5 not have
GTA
drum and
6
bass
is
on
going
it?
to be set in Miami in like the 90s.
Oh yeah, true. It's the time period, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, 90s.
jungle, mate.
90s.
Come
There
on.
could be a bit of jungle in there.
Yeah, that was.
You heard
weird.
it here first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know what, John? Good prediction.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah.
If they ever announce it properly, they've done.
No, they've announced that the trailer's coming
they've
this
announced
month.
the trailer's coming.
Yeah. But they've also said that the window is like November 24 to November 25. That's like the 1 year window that it has to come out. There's loads of things that have been leaked and things like in the last month or two. Like things that it's forced Rockstar to announce a load of things officially.
They take the piss, man.
Coming back round just full circle, so I didn't do my D&B one, and I felt bad, and I thought of a really good one. So I'd like to. Have you not?
No, but yeah, go
fucking
on,
hell, I'm cracking on like John and interrupting you.
No, I didn't even think of one. But
all right, well, you can have a minute while I do mine. Then I'd like to shout out our boy Edit, because Edit's back in the fucking mix.
Yeah,
he?
mate.
Limmy, is it?
Limmy, a
Big
whole
tune.
thing, a whole thang, I think it is.
he had another single
And
out this
I've
year
got
as well.
a bunch of dubs from him as well, and he's absolutely on it. So it's nice to have you back, Edward.
His sound is really, really pushed on as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping to link up with him next week
Very
actually
good.
for a little bit. So.
He's coming down, isn't he?
Yeah. So, nice.
Whilst you're thinking of yours still, I'm going to shout out 2 live performances I saw that were very good.
Go on.
So I went to go see a band called The Sacred Souls. They're probably one of my favourite bands at the moment. They're basically like a 2023 version of a Motown band, how I could best describe them. But I didn't realise they're American, didn't realise they were even playing in London last week until like 2 days before, and then just scrambled, managed to grab a ticket.
Yeah.
Went to go see them on the Thursday. It was incredible. And then secondly, I went to Lawrence's launch night.
Nice.
Boom.
Gemini launch night. The whole
was
thing with
it?
that venue's cool, man. It feels like you're in a giant house party or like a classy squat rave.
Was that Saturday night?
Ton of bricks last Saturday. Yeah.
Cap.
250 sold it out.
Tidy.
Yeah. Shout out to Lawrence, man. It was
Vibes.
sick. And all the sets were great that I saw. Wicked Club. Yeah. I'm glad. And you know what, the phones thing? So I would say for the first, I think me and Oscar and Rhea maybe got there. We basically got there as Jack started his set. So no phones from what I could see. And then when it got a bit heavier, a few phones came out, but still like ratio-wise, it's better than you see at a normal night. So
it was encouraged in advance. So
and it wasn't enforced on the night. Like they weren't going to play.
But people were.
I don't think it should be enforced.
No,
I
it
think
doesn't need
just
to
saying it, makes people feel like enough of a bed when they get it out.
Yeah.
Fabric do enforce it.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
So
my drum and bass tunes that I've been listening to are literally I was on my way to Tallinn in Estonia on Saturday for hospitality, and in the morning I got sent a load of dubs by Asco and Alaire, and they sent me one called Chord Bass, like a nice little whip, which I played in my set that night, and it's sick. And then Circumference sent me this new cheeky one called Always as well. which like again is just sick, and that just
Reckon,
instantly
naming
got
tunes
spun.
that no one can get.
Solvent sound.
I'm gonna
I
name
didn't realise
two
we're doing
cheeky little
dubs.
Still
But there's
bleeding
also-
solvent.
No, so there's another big tune that I've been playing a lot in our sets, which is one called BB by Waze. Waze tunes just frequently make their way into our sets.
Yeah.
They're
Have you heard the tune he's done with Josh? Oh, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, you've probably heard it.
Possibly. Do you know what? Josh has just got
Unglued.
some dumb tunes
Yeah,
in
his
the works
album,
at the moment.
his
It's
album
ridiculous.
is very good.
Yeah, I need to hit him up for some more of the sort of finished album bits because
Yeah.
I'm keen to hear this album, man. Like
Very
just
good.
The ones I've heard him playing and the ones he's already shown me are.
But the one
mad.
with oh well, we won't bait too many dubs out, but yeah, it's very good. Yeah. What's everyone got on feet?
I've got them off my feet at the moment.
What did you bring to the studio?
Just same as always, man. Just I've got some SB Dunks white.
Pretty sure I've got ones that I was wearing before, Air Max 1 Olives.
Mate, you've got to have a different pair of shoes for every single podcast. That's
I
the
think
rule.
I had the black.
I couldn't even remember
ones
to
of
bring these
these on last
trousers.
time.
Look.
Oh, yeah.
What
Come
you
straight
wearing
from
your
work.
pants?
Whee! No, like a change of clothes. I should have specified. That did sound a bit weird, didn't it?
We're in Tottenham, so I wore some TNs, but I got the ACW collab TNs on. Very comfortable. Very nice.
Very nice.
Cool. So we keep saying we're going to bring guests back on, but we keep just doing stuff with all us three. But to be honest, I'm really enjoying it.
I quite like it.
Guests are boring, man. I'm joking.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I feel like we need to
Only you could
actually
say
get
that.
like more. We need to give everybody more time to
Yeah.
give some questions and suggestions into us because
What,
like
rather than scrambling on the last actual day
yeah,
of
not like
recording.
6 hours before recording. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe give people like
Yeah,
more than
John.
24 hours.
I did post
What
about
the-
it yesterday, to be fair.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well done, John. Thank you, mate.
What did you guys do?
Well, exactly. That's what point I'm
Turned up.
making, mate.
Yeah,
Without,
And I'll crack on
change
with
of
this edit
trousers.
tomorrow and the day after
And then
and
what's
the day
Rich
after
going to
that.
do? He doesn't even give us lifts anymore.
He's not even giving us lifts. Can you grab me something from the vending machine now, mate?
Innit?
I was supposed to get you a coffee on the way
Just
here.
pay
wasn't
us. Yeah.
I? Sorry, guys.
But no, I think we'll do one more before the end of the year. And
we really need
we'll
to
do
get
our
guests
best.
back on, man.
yeah, we
Like,
will get some people on for sure. Like, yeah, I think it's going well though. We're getting some more episodes out. We're doing everything we said we were going to do like 6 months ago. So go us, consistency.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a little quick one. And yeah, we'll catch you before the end of the year. So thanks for listening.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Just in case. See you in 2024.
I know what's happening. I know what's coming.
Yeah, very fair. Bye.
later.
Peace.